Wow, that looks like a revolver, a loaded revolver. Yes, why don't we just shoot it? How about that? In honor of, oh, I don't know, Elmer Keith, Bill Jordan, don't you think? Model 19 might be appropriate. Take out a cowboy and double action. Yeah. Woo! Take out a gong. Maybe. How about again? Oh yeah, he fired 6. Yes, in honor of Elmer Keith, Bill Jordan. We have a Model 19, and you've seen them before. Maybe I'll link to one of our earlier Model 19 videos, but this is a kind of a vintage, made in the early 70s, 72 I think, in that ballpark. Just like the one I used to have. You've heard me say that before. Well, I have a 4-inch, but you know what? I couldn't resist this one because it's been in the back of my mind that I needed one that is exactly like I growed up with back in the early 70s. Because, as I have said before, this is was my first double action revolver. 6-inch, Model 19. It looked exactly like this. Same gun, same grip, same vintage, everything. Because I bought it in 72, 73. And I shot the fire out of it. You know, just wow. Franklin, Tennessee, Grant County, Kentucky, everywhere else. I've reloaded for it. First gun I reloaded for, 357 Magnum. And I just spent so much time with this exact configuration, you know, this gun essentially. And I just needed it back. Because it was really my second big caliber firearm, centerfire pistol revolver. And I mean, it was just really special to me. In some ways, maybe even more so at the time than the Model 29 I have now, that many of you are very familiar with. I bought in 74 and still have, and been shooting for all those years, over 70,000 rounds. And that, of course, is special. It doesn't get a lot more special than that. But this came before that, and in a way, I don't know if I learned to shoot on it, but I put a lot of rounds through it, learned to hand load, you know, with it, you know, loading the 357, and just shot it at a lot of places that, you know, don't even exist now, can't even go to. So anyway, very, very special, and I thought I would replace it, all right? As one of my projects, replacing things I'm sorry need replacing. How's that? I'll try a couple hand loads too, just in honor again of the big old ugly guy that bought one of these in 72, 73, learned to hand load this cartridge. So in fact, some of this brass would go back that far, you know. I could go through it and maybe find some. I don't know, I have a lot of 357 brass. I just thought of that. And you know, it doesn't wear out really. Occasionally one does, I just toss it. But it lasts forever through a lot of hand loads. And no doubt in my stash of 357 hand loads, there are pieces of brass that I fired in 72, 73, you know, and 75 and right on up. So pretty cool. Okay, let's shoot some more. All right, let's shoot this target, and let's smoke a little pot while we're at it. Let's do that first. Yeah. Oh! I had to hit him on the move. That was really in honor of Bill Jordan. He was quite a shot, as I understand. I don't think I ever saw him shoot. He was a big old ugly guy like myself. I think he was 6'7" or something. Border Patrol, cop, maybe, was he a Marine? I think he was in the military in some form, fashion. I used to read his articles all the time, and he was, you know, quite a shot. And he is the one who I think convinced Smith & Wesson to make this, the Combat Magnum, this size 357. He thought this would be the ideal size, because back then, again, it was the revolver world. And almost every cop, Border Patrol, all those people, they carried, FBI, whoever you name, they carried a revolver for the most part. And some of them were big old Model 27s. The 357 was a very popular round. Of course, it was only available in that end frame, I don't think they called it an in-frame at the time, maybe not the registered Magnum when it came out, but it was an in-frame. And it's big, and he thought something in this size format, K-frame format, in 357 Magnum would be ideal. And with a grip like this and everything, 4-inch, I think maybe it's a barrel, whatever. And Smith & Wesson made it. You know, Elmer Keith experimented with 38 Special earlier. He is kind of responsible for creating the cartridge, I guess, 357 Magnum. You know, he wanted a more powerful round in 38. And then Bill Jordan kind of took the ball and was responsible for a more usable firearm in that chambering in a lot of ways. I love end frames. I know a lot of you do too. And of course, then a 41 or 44, 45, some of the bigger caliber, you know, they're nice. But in 357 Magnum, and they're sweet to shoot, you know, it absorbs a lot of the recoil, that weight and that size. But if it's something you want to carry, you know, or just maybe smaller, lighter, fit your hand better, it's hard to beat. The Combat Magnum, right? And that's what it was called. And it came out in 55, I think. And then about 2 years later, they went to the designation of Model 19, you know, the numbers. So let's use some Federal 38 Special. These are plus P, 129 grain. Shoot a variety of things. And I've always shot a variety of rounds in my 357 Magnums. Warm Magnum loads, medium Magnum loads like I load, and 38 Special plus P, lightweight 38 Specials. You know, it's just very versatile. If you want one revolver, you're going to just have one revolver, it's hard to beat a 357 Magnum. And the Buffalo will attest to that. You watch. See, what'd I tell you? He would agree. And so would the Ram, see? How about that pig in the middle of the field? He doesn't agree. I'm not sure where I'm going. I'll go lower. I'll go higher. That's what I need to do. I think I'm empty, right? No, I'm not. Those are fun. That's, again, the fun of a 357. Because you can put little 38s in it, weaker 38s. And of course, this 6-inch barrel, I think I probably wanted a 4-inch barrel or a shorter barrel when I was shopping for them at that time. But I was, man, was I, you think I'm ignorant now and naive? I was really ignorant and naive in 73, you know, about firearms, 72, 73. And I just thought, wow, I want a police revolver. It's kind of the way I looked at this. You know, this is what I'd grown up with. This is what the cops carried, man. This swing out cylinder, 38 or whatever, and a Smith & Wesson or a Colt. And I was just enthralled with it. I really was. So it was high on my list when I got out of school. It was. I guess I sneaked in the Ruger Blackhawk. You know about that if you've been around, 45 Colt, while I was actually still in school, finishing up, okay? And it wasn't that expensive, but I sneaked that one in, my first centerfire firearm. And when I got out, I was ready to go shoot some and something else. And, you know, this gun was it. A police revolver was I thought would be really cool to have. And I mean, again, everybody, it was a revolver world, so it wasn't just a police revolver. But it's what I'd seen so much of, and I got some good advice, didn't I? Because again, like I said, I was dumb. You know, not that I'm not now, but you know, I mean, think about that. Think about it. In fact, I should be proud of myself. My first two guns, come to think of it, centerfire handguns. First two guns, period, of any significance that I bought. A Model 19 Smith & Wesson and a Ruger Blackhawk. Hey, I could have done a lot worse, couldn't I? Come think of it, for someone who didn't know anything. So I must have asked the right questions, or I had some good advisors, don't you think? Oh man. Oh yeah. Yeah. Click. Okay, I think I need to hold just a little bit higher. I think I'm missing when I'm holding too low. 357, keep them separate. Yeah, so I won't keep you all night. I'll shoot some more magnums though. Maintain my man card. Yep, good old Federal 158 grain. That's kind of the standard classic. I know there's so many cartridges and every weight and fashion you can imagine these days, but 158 grain has kind of been the standard for a long time in 357 Magnum. Depends on what you're doing. I think a lot of obviously the 130, 129 grain bullets are very, very popular in a carry gun, no doubt about it. They get a great rating for self-defense. All right, so I got Magnum, I guess. And oh, you know what I was going to do? Well, I'll let's see. Yeah, after I shoot this, let's prove they're Magnum. Yeah, that's definitely Magnum. Woo! See another one. What else can we magnemize? How about a bowling pin? And a plate. Oh yeah. Now what I was going to do was put a warm one on that melon, but it occurred to me we actually have some Hydra shocks here. I know I've used that lame joke before, but you know, doesn't that seem appropriate to put a Hydra shock? Hydra, water, shock the melon full of water. It just seems appropriate to me. Okay. All right, let's do that. Now with melons, you never know. That one's a little bit old, been around a while, but you never know. We'll see what happens. Oh, all right. It took care of it. Ooh, some hot stuff. Nice. Nice. All right, I'm gonna hold up on the gong and see if I can hit it. Yeah, that sounded good.